You know what I really hate? Public transportation. Now I just moved, that's why there's a lot of echoing and there's a new thingamajig right here in the background. Room, people, room. No, but I had to move because I just started on this new education thingamajig with 29 other very lovely people. But let me just tell you something, not even 36 hours after I just arrived and got this room, I mess up big time. First of all, Monday morning, got introduced to the 29 lovely faces that I have to look at for 3 years now. But that's okay, you're all very, very beautiful. I hope you're watching this, or else this was just a waste of time in a video. Of course, the people that put the education thingamajig all together were there as well, and they had prepared a lovely breakfast. The thing is, I am such a retard, so when I had to cut a bread, I accidentally cut my hand as well. Right there, look at that. But that's not the worst thing that happened that day, no. So I biked from where I live here to the place where the education is. That is like 5.5 kilometers, which is a lot for me when I'm only used to like 2.5 or something. And as I got there, I knew that we had to be there until like late evening, and I remembered that I had forgot my bike lights. Louise, that's not so important. Yes, it is, because it's illegal to drive without bike lights when, you know, the street lights are on. But after the introduction and all that, and me cutting my freaking hand, we had some hours to kill, and I decided to visit a friend who lives like 10 kilometers from where my education is. And I'd figured out that if I just took this one bus at this one time, I would be at the station 5 minutes before we had to meet, and it would take like 2 or 3 minutes to walk to where we had to meet. So I was like, okay, cool. When I entered the bus, everything started to collapse. A ticket to where I had to go cost 28 kronas. I put up 40 kronas on like the bus driver's desk thingy, and he only gave me 2 kronas left, which means that he didn't give me like 10 kronas extra that I needed. And I was too awkward to say, hey, you know what, I gave you 2 20s, can you please give it back? But I was not awkward enough to ask the bus driver if he could just say, hey, we're at the station right now, get off my bus, because I seriously didn't know how many bus stops I had to wait until I had to, you know, get off the bus. So I was like, can you please tell me when we're at the station so I can get off the bus? And he was like, which I took as a, yeah, of course I will, kind little lady. I had to meet up with my classmates 15 minutes to 9, and suddenly it was 20 minutes to 9, and I was like, okay, we should be at the station in just a little while. Suddenly it was 10 minutes to 9, and I was almost freaking out there. And then it was 9, and then I was like, where the fuck am I? So I decided to then look at my GPS, and guess where I was? In the middle of fucking nowhere. So I just pressed stop, got off the bus. I called the nice lady which house I'm staying at, living in, right here. And I was like, can you please come and get me? I am very, very lost. She was so nice to pick me up and drive me to where I had to meet up with my classmates. I was like half an hour late. So I'd missed a lot of short films, and I was pretty bummer about that. But we were asking some questions to the instructors that actually made those short films that I hadn't seen because I was a public transportation retard. When we then had to go home and I got to my bike that I parked before I went to my friend's house in train, I remembered, shit, I don't have my bike lights. But I didn't want to walk home because that would mean that I had to walk for over an hour until I was home here. So I was like, fuck the police, and I just drove without bike lights. I had to use my GPS though, because I needed to go in like one of these side streets, and I couldn't remember what it was called, so I was like, okay, get GPS, look at it, and just as I get my GPS, my phone runs out of battery. So I was like, fuck. But I started biking, and suddenly I recognized like the street that I'd driven at or biked at in the morning. So I was just biking there, but in the opposite side, so I knew where I had to go. Suddenly a police car with sirens up drives right past me, and I was like, shit, I'm going to get arrested now. Goodbye life, goodbye world. fuck this shit, what even? So I quickly got off my bike, but the police car was of course gone, you know. I don't know why I panicked so much. I had a very stressful day, okay? So I got on my bike again, started biking the right way. On the trip that I have to drive on my bike, I'm driving like close to the coast and suddenly, woof! A giant bird that could have been an eagle, I swear to God it could have been an eagle, flew right past my face. It was like America being like, freedom! At the same time I was super scared that the police would just suddenly appear and arrest me. And now I was also scared that another freaking eagle, a giant bird or whatever it was, would attack me, you know, surprise attack me again. But I got home. And did I mention that it was raining? So my hair was basically like, got into my room, lay down on my bed and was like, what was this day? I don't even know. And that's why I hate public transportation, because if that thing on the bus hadn't happened, then none of the other things would have happened. Except for me cutting myself in the hand. That's just me being a total retard. Cheers, mate! I've biked 44 kilometers in 3 days. Don't tell me I don't do anything, okay? Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys soon-ish, I hope. And if you'd like to see my face somewhere else, then there's some links down below that says my face. It's here too, because it is. Sometimes. Bye! This area is so clean because I had to record this video and another video. What I'm looking at right now is just moving boxes and all different kind of stuff.